one of the things you talk about is, like you said, having a great team. And I've learned this over the decades from other leaders. You should hire and you should fire based on the values, and that you shouldn't compromise those things as you've got. Can you tell us maybe some of the challenges that you've seen when building teams where we talk about Simon Sinek here, about where you have a person who has maybe very high competency, but not very high on the trust or in alignment of values from that. So, but any experiences that you've seen over the decade where you can throw people under the bus, but you don't have to individually, but how have you kind of dealt with that and those experiences?
Yeah, I call them brilliant jerks. We all know them, right? So the person who is so smart and can do so much, but basically is just corrosive to the team. They are quite possibly the worst person to have on your team. And the reason is because they demoralize absolutely everybody else. And either people want to be, just don't want anything to do with that person, and you kind of are a turtle and you go back into your shell, or it creates conflict on the team that is unhealthy and, it's just basically not resolvable. And that person is never going to change. That brilliant jerk is never not going to be a brilliant jerk. So, my philosophy is you either change the people or you change the people. So if you can't actually fundamentally, move that person to a place where they're not going to be a brilliant jerk and actually going to be helpful, you've got to remove them from the team. And it's that simple. And I've done it a couple of times. It's never pleasant because, you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm losing this high-powered resource on my team. But they're not a high-powered resource because they've literally brought the productivity of everybody else down a ton.